What's up, guys? Welcome back to More Therapy. I am the video channel producer. You can call me PD, and it's been a minute. Sorry that I've been a little scarce on uploads. I've been traveling, and mainly I've been sick and moving. If you couldn't tell, I'm in a new place, and I was in the process of basically uprooting my life and moving completely out of state and living on my own. So it's sort of taken a while to get back on my feet, but here I am, and today we are going to be reacting to Stray Kids' I Am You. But before we check out this music video, this video is brought to you by my clothing line, Kezekis. We have our brand new Uwu pre-order sale going on, and I've heard your requests, and we are also adding t-shirt options as well. We're actually very close to selling out for the hoodie option, so grab the hoodie pre-sale while you can, and we're adding some t-shirts because it's cheaper to produce just last minute. So if you still want an Uwu brand piece of Kezekis clothing, go ahead and you can pre-order that at the link over there. It's a great way to support me and this channel. I'm working together with Amber's producer Enoch Lin, and he's designing everything and we are producing it ourselves. And we had some shipping issues with our first product, especially the international part. So if you are international, please include your phone number. We figured everything out with customs now. So everyone from the first batch of sales should be receiving their orders very soon. And for those of you who order the pre-sale now, shipping will be going out end of October, beginning of November. So just keep that in mind. Now, let's check out this music video. This is Your Form of Therapy. So this is the end of the My Pace music video. Same set, same attire. Where are they going with this? Oh, 17 and Victon shot here. Ooh, okay, hold on. Based on the images and the visuals, I thought this was gonna be something lighthearted, but the bass is telling me otherwise. Ooh, Changbin is telling me otherwise. Interesting, Changbin in the first verse. Changbin is usually used in the second verse. I like this. Okay. Wow, this set is really cool. Like an alley of showers. Very unique. Oh, interesting. It's supposed to be like a dark room photo lab. Ooh. Woojin, get that screen time. Oh, this is dope. It's supposed to be simulated on a moving truck. I love that. And like the shaky cam feeds into that effect. This is really cool. And the mirror effect of I Am You, that's clever. Oh, this set design is really cool. I can imagine like all the staff employees in the background just like flicking the lights on and off. Ooh. Jisung's part, holy shit. Oh, who's this? Oh, interesting. Changbin doing pre-chorus. Note to you guys, let me know who that was in the comments before Changbin. Unfamiliar face. I'm like getting to know the members. This is Sungmin, I believe. Oh, I'm so proud of how much Woojin has improved. It's crazy. I gotta learn this guy's name too. I recognize him though.
인연이 돼줄래 발맞추면서 달리자고 We going side by side 난 너랑 같이 가고 싶어 약속해줘 See myself in you Stay together you and I you and I you and I 난 너의 곁에
Woojin had a lot of lines. I'm really happy for him. And a lot of camera time. Okay. Now, starting off with just the visuals, the color grading of the music video, I definitely expected something more lighthearted. In fact, I was kind of worried. I was thinking, oh, is it going to be their more lighthearted tracks like School Life or something like that as a title track? I don't think that would work as a title track, and it thankfully wasn't, but the color grading here I think is very important. It actually signals a very big change and a departure in tone for Stray Kids. If you look at their title track, District 9, was very intense and dark. My Pace was intense and fun. This is intense but emotional. This is something different. And here's what I like about Stray Kids. This is something new, but it's still Stray Kids. I mean, they've had, what, 3 title tracks this year, which is fucking phenomenal, by the way. Each of them sounds inherently different. They do not sound like the same song. And yet, there is a very prominent Stray Kids signature sound to them. It's the way they produce their music. It's the way they utilize their rappers and mix their rappers in with their vocalists. It is a signature Stray Kids sound, but they always serve up something different. And I think, first of all, that is the key to Stray Kids' success and their popularity. They always never fail to surprise the audience, and I certainly was surprised here. This song is definitely a lot more emotional than I thought it would be. It definitely pulls on my heartstrings. It's a little bit romantic. It's got a sense of yearning, some melancholy to it. What I really like is the use of Woojin here. I think Woojin does a fantastic job here to sort of like have that feeling of like drawing on your emotions. I think he does that really well. I think overall Woojin's line distribution throughout title tracks has been flip-floppy. It's all right, but I feel like just because the rappers are so prominent, the vocalists, you know, have to sort of divvy up what they can. But another thing that I think changes this song compared to other Stray Kids title tracks is how they utilize and change up members' positions. Felix is in his usual position in the bridge, doing his soft, slower tone, obviously because he's still learning Korean, but they put Jisung there. And Jisung has this insane ability to add this melody to his rapping that, honestly, even though Changbin is my favorite and I like the other rappers too, Jisung is a unique rapper that it's something that only he could have pulled off. And even in the second verse when Jisung comes in, you know, that's usually Changbin's part. You know, Changbin comes in the second verse and he really does something intense, but Changbin actually opens up the song here. And so that was actually a very fantastic play. You know, Bang Chan comes in with the vocals. You don't know what to expect, you know. It could go up or down, but then Changbin lays it down, and he lays down a very intense feeling of raw emotion. And then Jisung in the second verse, I think changes it up quite drastically. So I think sort of like playing around with the members and not going with the same formula over and over again is great. So they never feel stale. Every time Stray Kids has a comeback, I mean, technically they've only had 2 comebacks, but if you consider their pre-debut stuff with Elevator and then their singles and then their actual debut, I mean, they had the whole mixtape as well. And then if you think about it, you know, honestly, they've had comebacks multiple times. They've got such a large discography, honestly, that you can have a lot of comparisons and parallels between Stray Kids music, and the thing is, it just never gets old. You know, I think that's one of the worries with a group like Stray Kids. They're so inherently unique. They've got such a distinct style. How do you not get sick of it? And honestly, I think it comes down to the fantastic producing and production from Bang Chan and his team and whoever is working on their title tracks and even their B-sides as well. It's never the same thing. but it's always the signature Stray Kids style, as I was talking about. Now the music video here is really cool. They actually did a lot of setups, that I haven't seen in a music video before. And when it comes to K-pop, that is pretty goddamn rare. There was this one part with, I believe it was Hongmin, he was holding up a camera. There's the typical music video LED tubes in the background, but if you notice, there were these racks and there was film strips hanging over them, and the LED tubes were lit red. And if you don't know, a photo lab, a dark room as it's called, is actually red. It's where they produce film, like actual film camera photos. It's in a red room. So that was actually a clever way to sort of symbolize a photo lab dark room. So that was really cool. I like the part with Changbin walking through like all these different showers, these standalone showers. That was insanely unique. There was that one part, I forget who was rapping, but he was surrounded by a bunch of desk lamps. That was cool. That was really, really dope. And especially the way they made it flicker. I mean, I know how they made it flicker. They probably had a bunch of dead man switches, and then they probably had a bunch of staff members flicking them on and off at an intermittent rate. Just looking at the flicker pattern, I can tell that it's definitely not digital. It looked like it was a physical flicker pattern. So that was really cool. Honestly, this music video is so cool. That's why I was so confused, because there are like these, generic boy group shots of like them running around having fun. They're doing laundry, they're pushing each other in carts. By the way, I believe 17's Aju Nice and Victon's unbelievable music video shot in this area, this building. It was a mixture of like these really intense, cool, future techno, cyberpunk vibes that they've been giving off for a while, mixed with like the more lighthearted generic boy group stuff, which I guess conveys the emotional part. I really liked that effect they did with having Pangchan in the mirror to symbolize the I am you thing. That was great. And what I liked was the main dance portion where they were filming it inside the container, and they made it look like it was a moving truck, like they were on the back of an open container of a moving truck. That was so cool, and especially with the handheld camera motions, or at least the simulated camera motions, it could have been digital, that was like chalked off to it being a moving van, so it looks more realistic. So that was really clever. I think Stray Kids never fails to amaze me, honestly. I recently did a listening party for the Sriracha mixtapes. You can go ahead and check that out. That's on Patreon right now. That's available for patrons at patreon.com/formatherapy. I'm really impressed with this group, and I know there's a little bit of worry and controversy on whether or not they are being overworked, and honestly, I don't think so. I think they're pretty lucky. I think they had a debut this year, and they had 2 comebacks this year. That's pretty great. That's honestly really unheard of, and I think JYP is actually doing an excellent job of promoting Stray Kids. I think they understand the global appeal of Stray Kids, but I also think that they know that they struck gold with Stray Kids. Because I know the initial worry in the beginning with Stray Kids was that they have such a jarring sound. It's a very Western sound that, the worry was that the Korean audience would not be receptive of Stray Kids' style, but Stray Kids seems to be fairly popular. So honestly, like capitalizing on this, never letting up the momentum is honestly a good thing on JYP's part. I think they're learning their mistakes from the past. With GOT7, they really dropped the ball on that one. GOT7 did well, and then they became more popular internationally, and then they started dropping off in Korea, and so like now they're trying to regain GOT7 stature in the Korean realm. But with Stray Kids, I think off the bat, they know what they're doing. So honestly, I think it's a good thing that they're promoting for a second comeback. That's really good. I think they're going to be getting a break, honestly, beginning of the year of 2019. I honestly don't think you need to worry about Stray Kids. I think they are doing just fine.
I am you, mean you. 너 있을 때 울 수 있어. 같은 공간 속에서, 같은 시간 속에서.
Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed my reaction and review of Stray Kids' I Am You. Let me know what you thought about the song and the music video in the comments down below. Also, if you'd like to support me, I would greatly appreciate it, and thank you to everyone who is supporting this channel currently. You can do that by joining me on Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/formatherapy, it's a website where basically you can become an exclusive member of our club and you get early access to reaction videos, and you also can support this channel and my future endeavors. So go ahead, please. I would greatly appreciate your support if you go ahead and do that. However, if you can't support me monetarily, that's completely fine. Why don't you just go ahead and click like down below over there. It actually helps me out with YouTube's search algorithm. YouTube favors if there's more engagement in the video. So go ahead and click like down below. Go ahead and click subscribe down here. Tune in for future reaction review videos if you're new. And also go ahead and just binge all my other videos over here.